Hello, June the Groomer here. Welcome to another episode of Ask Jun the Groomer. I actually missed a couple episodes because my computer. June the Groomer here. Perfect. At least we know the sound works. But I missed a couple of weeks because my computer here, the one I'm looking at, is kind of outdated a little bit, and every time I try to do a screen share, it would freeze up on me and couldn't do the show. So I got a laptop, which is what I'm on now, and so now we're gonna give it another shot here. I don't think anybody knows. He says, "Yay! So glad you're back. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you so much." And I actually feel a little bit more high tech now because what's going on is I'm doing the this live feed through my laptop here that I just got, and I'm doing the chat and everything else computer that I used to do the show on, like real time. I don't know how the screen share. Well, I guess I can do screen share here, like on my laptop. But okay. All right, everybody. We're just kind of getting situated here because I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do this show or not. And I was telling my wife I haven't done it in a couple weeks. Maybe I'll just take the rest of the month off and not do June the Groomer show till maybe next year. And I was like, maybe we'll just rename it and just redo the whole thing and just do something next year. And my wife, my producer, she was saying that I got the laptop. She was like, might as well, somebody might have a question they want to ask you. So let's do this. Just share this link on my June the Groomer Facebook page. So that I'm back up and trying to do the Ask Jun the Groomer show again. Let me see here. We're back online. Join me here. And then okay. So today, what I wanted to talk about is something that just kept coming up, and I think it was Christina. Oh my goodness, Christina Lee. I think it was your question, wasn't it? That about the man. I can pull it up here. About the different skin issues. I think it was her Yorkie poo. This is pulling up the file. About what I want to talk about is the smell, that dirty, wet dog smell. Sometimes it smells like rags, things like that. Chelsea, oh no, it was Chelsea Brown. I'm sorry, it wasn't Christina. It was Chelsea Brown. But I wanted to talk about what to do and why that's happening. So if you picture a dog, the undercoat. So Weenie, oh my goodness, come here, Weenie. Do we have a comb, honey? Okay, I don't need a comb. So Weenie here. Say hi to everyone. So we try to brush him and keep him combed out now on a regular basis. My wife did everything actually. I washed him, and washing's the easy part. My wife did all the combing and all that. But with Weenie, when I pull like this, nothing really comes out because this is mostly all live hair because we comb him on. We have been now combing him on a regular basis. I haven't been, but like a fine-tooth comb and went through his coat. Those little fine hairs that would come out on that comb, considered dead undercoat. But I think a better term for it, just so we get a better idea, like a better visual of what it is, old underwear. And that's what it is. It's just old underwear. And picture like old the gym or gym socks. And they're just nasty and dirty and worn down, and it's just time to let it go, right? But you just keep trying to use Clorox and bleach and wash it, and then start sweating in it, it's going to smell bad again, and that's kind of what's going on with our dogs. And we're not getting that dead dead undercoat. When we're not getting their old underwear out of their coat, then no matter how many times we wash them or how good the shampoo is, you're still gonna get that smell because that old underwear, their dirty gym socks, are still on their feet, you know? So we gotta comb all that stuff out. And then when we comb it out, basically we're throwing away the old underwear, the old gym socks, and we're giving the skin, now the pores, room, new healthy live hairs to grow in. And I learned from Michelle Knowles that I really liked is her analogy of the dog's hair, the hair fibers, the strands of hair. Picture it as a pine cone. It's not like a rope, you know, like a threaded rope. That's not what the hair strands look like. Microscope, the hair strands look like pine cones, like scaly. Yeah. Dad. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. How big Ava's gotten. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, Ava. Hey, how old are you now? 8. Oh my goodness, 8 years old. Get away from me, Dexter. You stink. You stink. And so again, why does he stink? It's my fault Dexter stinks. I'm not, you know, spending the time I should be brushing and combing out and carding. And Dexter has a short coat. Dexter's my blue pit mix. So with him, I would like to go through with like a rubber curry brush, a Furminator. I call it Furminator because everybody knows what a Furminator is. If I say like a carding tool, you know, hand stripping knives, you know, with the handle, nobody really, they're like, what? But you know, just call it a Furminator. But there's lots of other tools, but it's not the brand. You know, I'm not pushing a brand here. I'm just saying stripping knives. I'll just say stripping knives. I use stripping knives, you know, rubber curry brushes, slicker brush. I use all different kinds of brushes and rakes to help get all that old underwear, the dead undercoat, that fuzzy, brittle hair, get it out of the skin. Just pull it out and get, you know, I get bundles of it. And then once it's out, the skin is now clear. Those pores are clear. It sends a signal to the follicles to make more hair. And when the hair grows, these live hairs are like closed pine cones. When a pine cone is fresh and new and it's still green, the scales are closed and it's smooth, right? When it's, hey, Dexter, get out of here. Go. Go. All right. Dexter, they say that these bully breeds, the dogs that have these big domes, these big heads, they're more stubborn, and they're stubborn because these bigger brains, they have like higher intelligence, and a sign of the intelligence is their stubbornness, you know. Angel, I'm like, hey Angel, go to the garage. She's like, okay. Dexter, he just looks at me like, you know, I'm like, no, Dexter, go in the garage. Like, but I'm eating this garage, you know, like, anyways. I was like, okay, so when the pine cones are fresh, they're green, the scales are closed, right? As the pine cone gets, you know, older, and then it turns brown and brittle, and it opens up, right? And then they fall, and we see all these pine cones on the ground that are brown and all opened up. That's like the old hairs. So we pluck those out, pull those out to, you know, and because the scales are opened up on these old hairs, that's what's holding on to the bacteria, the fungus, the dirt, moisture, all of these things combined, it holds it onto it all rather than repel it off. See, the fresh new hairs, and because these scales are all closed up, the moisture, the bacteria, the dust and debris, all of that stuff slides off. It's repelled off, and the dog stays clean. But if, you know, when these whole hairs get older and they get fuzzy and frayed, it starts to, rather than, you know, repel it off, it starts to hold on to it like a sponge. It starts to absorb everything, and that's when, you know, you can wash your dogs as many times as you want. Actually, washing your dogs will actually cause them to smell even worse. So if you have a dog that you're washing once every week, right? Once a week. I know some people that wash their dogs more than once a week, but let's just say once a week. What's happening is every time you wash your dog, their skin reacts to it by going into like a little overdrive mode for about 2 weeks, for about 2 to 3 weeks. Your skin, the dog's skin is going to start producing more skin and more skin cells, the keratin and everything, and proteins. Anyways, it starts to make more skin cells and more oils, so that apocrine and sweat glands, the eccrine glands and the sebaceous glands, they're all producing these oils at a more rapid pace to try to replace what it thinks has been attacked off the surface. So, in response to the bath. So if you have this dog's skin overproducing for about 2 to 3 weeks, but we're washing them every week, the skin is always in this heightened state, of overproducing oils. And so then we have the oils carry a scent, it has these pheromones and, oil smells. So we have this dog that it just seems like no matter how many times we wash them, they smell. And you wash them, they smell like the shampoo for a little bit, especially if you have the better quality shampoo. Sometimes the smell lasts for a day, for the rest of the day, but not even, right? And then like a few days later, you have a dog that smells again. It's like, oh my God, I just washed you. So rather than washing them, the brushing, so that's my mantra: brush more, bathe less. But oh my goodness, I just went into like a really long rant. um, Alexandra HG says hello from Honduras. Hello. Oh my goodness, Honduras. Wow. Alexandra, what do you do in Honduras? Are you a dog groomer or let's see, Leon. Yay, he's back. Leon. Oh man, I love you, Leon. Thank you so much for being here supporting. Is it Lai K or Lee K? Lee K4. Hi. 3 exclamation point marks. I have 2 Shih Tzus and one is a rescue and his nails are curved. Oh my goodness. Can you upload a video on how to Dremel a dog's nails, please? Your grooming video says. Okay, so Lee K, let me go ahead and here. And I'll also put a link on the notes here, because the notes for this video says, okay, let's give this another try, because I wasn't sure if this is going to work. This is my first time actually turning on my laptop and using it since I bought it. I've been running around like crazy. Anyways, Lee K4, I have a video. I'll put up 2 videos. One is where I did these 2 rescue Shih Tzus. When they came in, they looked like black octopuses. They looked like they literally had or black spiders, like giant tarantulas. They literally looked like they had 6 legs, walking around. But they were dreaded, nasty, matted hair just hanging off of these dogs. Okay, and when we got to the nails, as you can imagine, overgrown, curled, and one of the nails was so infected, it was huge. I mean, the nail bed itself, it was probably the diameter of my ring finger, seriously, and it was curled over. I didn't know what to do. This is the first time I ever saw it. I trimmed it down and dremeled it to where she could at least put her foot down on the ground without it, being too uncomfortable. And then later on at the rescue shelter, they told me that they had to remove that nail. The vet said that it was infected. It got inside the nail. First time I ever saw that. But I'll upload that video, and also the video I did on how to do nails years ago. In this house, actually, lots happened, and right back around full circle. Here I am again at this house. But I'll put up that video. I show how to trim nails and file. Nothing too exciting in that video. It's more like a how-to. Oh, Christina Lee says, not mine, huh? Yeah, Christina Lee, I'm sorry. I thought it was your question. Brandy Dukes, hi, June. Oh my goodness, I am your inspiration. Oh my goodness, maybe you need a bigger circle. No, I was kidding. Brandy, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Speaking of, that reminds me. So, as you guys know, whenever I have time, I like to write in my journal. And this is my most recent one. It says, ideas become things. So this is like maybe my 3rd or 4th journal. I would have more if I write in it more regularly. To beat myself up, because I tell myself that's why it's my journal, my rules. I write it when I feel like it. But in my journal, I think this was one of my first ones. one. But anyways, I was writing like a list of 10 things I want in life. And number 9 was I want to be an inspiration to others, right? And I know it sounds silly, but I was just like, number 9 was I wanted to be an inspiration to others. And coin laundry. And I look on Chambly Tucker Road, there's this place where there's like a graffiti under a bridge. There's red, squiggly, like ancient letter. It says, be inspired, dot, dot, dot. And then underneath it, be inspired, dot, 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 be inspired, dot, dot, dot. 3 times with 3 dots behind it. And I was like, oh my God, be inspired. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, for speaking to me, like if I want to be an inspiration to others, I first have to be inspired, right? Picture of it. I go home, I tell my wife, oh my God, the universe is talking to me. And here my wife's like, here we go again. What has the universe told you now? My wife's like over it by now. Because I'm always talking about these cuckoo things. Um, so anyways, I'm like, seriously, I got a picture of it. So I took a picture of, I showed her the picture. Oh my God, let's go see it. And so we go back to that exact same spot, right? I take her there. It's not there. And here's the crazy part. Were other things that had the white, like a white paint kind of thing to cover up whatever was written or whatever was drawn there before. There were certain ones that they covered up. I'm telling you, there was not even any evidence that it was ever there. There was no white paint covering up anything. There was no evidence of somebody pressure washing anything or scrubbing it off. It was just not there. So if I didn't have that picture of it, and no, my wife and I actually made like a photo grid of it. I don't know where. Anyways, isn't that crazy though? So it was a huge lesson to me. And I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like anything that I want to be, if I want to be an inspiration to others, first I need to be inspired, and first I need to find things that inspire me and be in this inspired state. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to be an inspiration to Brandy Dukes, or anybody. Thank you so much, Brandy. Seriously. Everybody's like, oh, Brandy, now you got to on this rant, sorry. Ashes, quadruple X. Ashes, quadruple X. It's XXXXX. Not that I've seen some, no, I'm just kidding. It says, hi, I'm a new groomer. What's your advice on shaving out very tight mats in sensitive areas like feet, hocks, sanitary? Okay. I like to say stretch the skin, not the hair. Okay, so when we're shaving like under the armpits especially, oh my God. So when you have like a matted Shih Tzu or matted Maltese, and you're going under the armpits and these balls of matted hair, and it's a sensitive area anyways. It's so easy to nick that skin. So what we want to do is just pull the arm out, and also maybe even have somebody else help, but kind of stretch that skin. So pull the skin, not the hair, because it's so tempting to pull on those on the matted hair, to kind of pull it away from the skin and shave. That's how you're gonna get the dog cut. Because when you're pulling the hair, those matted hairs, and you might even be pulling like a big chunk of it, like away from the skin as you're shaving, just to kind of help. It is a huge temptation, I know, but try to fight the temptation to do that and pull the skin from the other side rather than pull the mats like this. Pull the skin from the other side tighter, and I have an example of it in shaving a matted coat or something like that, where I'm shaving like this big matted doodle. There's another. I'll put the link on that. And then there's another one, later when I'm going through back over and changing the notes of the show. But there's another one where the Shih Tzus I was just talking about that from the rescue dogs. I was going through and shaving matted hair from the armpits and everything. So yeah, the best advice I could give, the biggest tip is on a matted dog, pull the skin, not the hair, and you should be good. Just like when I'm shaving, pull the skin tight. Anyways, Rachel Lee, message retracted. Oh man. Okay. All right, Rachel, you want to be like that? Leon Harewood, what's up? What's the correct pH the dog skin's supposed to be at, and what can cause it to change? Okay, what can you do to regulate the skin's pH? Okay, so a dog's pH is more at a 5, okay, like a 5 point something 6. Human pH, we're more at a neutral, like at a 7, okay. So I think, let me Google this just to make sure. Dogs, dogs pH, uh, skin, okay. But the point is, our skin is a little more acidic than our own. So when we're using like shampoo products, no, it's yeah more acidic, and we're more alkaline. So dog's pH is 5.2 to 6.2, and we're more at a 7. And so the difference between a 5 and a 7 is, well, pretty much it doesn't seem like a big difference, but in a fish tank, it's the difference between dead fish and live fish, pretty much. So it might not seem like a big difference, but it is a very big difference because pH is everything. Everything has a pH. And um, if we use human shampoo on dogs, what it does is it actually strips their acid mantle. And acid mantle is just a fancy way to say their thin protective layer of oil that they have. It strips it right off. So we want to use something that is actually that matches their pH, so it doesn't have any kind of those harmful effects. Leon, let me get out of there. Back to that. But yeah, Leon, great question. And what regulates the skin pH? Um, it's really pH is potential hydrogen. So it's like the ability to hold hydrogen, hold water, pretty much, I guess. But I guess what regulates it is our body system, I guess. And maybe what you're asking is like, how do we keep it balanced, or how, if it is off balance, how do we get it back to balance? And that's just using the proper products, and also using it in the proper steps, this proper sequence. So you want to shampoo first, then condition, and then you want to use like a finishing conditioning spray. Um, so the next one, Rachel Lee. Okay. Oh, Rachel Lee. Sorry, Rachel. Sorry about that. I didn't see the next the comments. Okay. Rachel Lee, 15-year groomer here. I have a water dog who comes in every 3 months. He produces oily skin real bad. I've tried everything. What can I do? I've tried everything. I can't get a blade through after 10 baths a day. Um, See, I think that's the problem is the owner may be washing them at home as well. And I'm not saying don't wash a dog, because the comparison I draw is like with horses. We just understand, we get it, because it's common knowledge now that when you brush a horse and more like daily, all the time, pretty much, and you don't wash them unless they need it, unless they're going to be shown or whatever. But the same thing with dogs. It really is, because their skin works very similarly. A dog's skin is much more similar to a horse's skin than our own skin. And so if we know not to wash a horse too much and brush them regularly, then it should be common knowledge for dogs too, but it isn't. Everyone's teaching to wash the dog with this, wash the dog with that, try this, try that detangler, and it really is more about brushing them more, especially if it is a water dog. They need to be brushed. The reason why is a beaver spends most of its time in the water, but they spend a lot of their day, like I think a third of their day, grooming themselves. They're brushing themselves with their teeth and their nails, their paws. They're getting all of that dead fuzzy coat, that old underwear. They're getting it off because they need their live hairs to continue to repel off the waters. And if the live hairs are repelling away the water, but the hair next to it is absorbing it, it's not really going to do much good. So they're constantly grooming themselves, and also by grooming themselves, by spreading their oils all over their body. And that's what they're doing. They're brushing their oils all throughout their coat to help repel away the water. So otherwise they're going to freeze to death. And that's why they spend so much time grooming. And that's why I'm thinking with this water dog, probably lay off the baths. 10 baths a day. Wow. You know, like I would under my watch, me personally, if they were in my never allow 10 baths a day. I wouldn't even allow 10 baths maybe in a year. Still a lot. Like especially with a dog that's producing too much oil now. Let's I would approach it. I would start to do less baths and start brushing them out every week. Have them come in every week and spend about 30 minutes to an hour every week just brushing them out. And you're going to get lots and lots of nasty hair at first, but then eventually you're going to get to a point where it's back to a normal cycle. And only around the spring and fall time are you going to have to deal with, a little bit more brushing. But, you know, just my opinion. Rachel, I think the dog is probably being washed too much. And I would suggest um, using like good healing oils like avocado oil or argan oil or emu oil, and just lightly, lavender even I heard, but lavender I would check. The safe ones, the ones that you could use on pretty much any dog, and it's not really going to do any harm. If anything, it's going to help. Are the argan oil, the avocado oil, the emu oil. And thank you so much, Michelle Knowles, from Yves Saint Bernard and Cape Creek when I worked with her. Anyways, I would use these oils and brush and lay off the baths, in my opinion. And if you've tried everything, then maybe just try this one thing, one more thing. And I tell this story because I love this story of Captain Naaman. Um, Captain Naaman, if you guys are familiar with the Bible at all, I grew up, anyways. Captain Naaman was this, well-known celebrity status general of the army of Syria, I think. And then he came down with leprosy, and leprosy is a skin condition where the disease literally eats away at your skin, kind of like the skin conditions that I see with dogs sometimes. Literally looks like this skin infection is like eating away at their skin. It's raw, it's nasty, it's crusty, oozing, you know. But that's what this Captain Naaman had all over her skin, miserable, dying. There was no cure for it, and so his maid tells him about this prophet Elijah down in back in her home country. Anyway, long story short, the prophet tells him, go dunk yourself in the river Jordan 7 times and you'll be healed. And the prophet doesn't even tell him. He sends a servant out. And, that's another story. But anyways, Captain Naaman gets his feelings hurt. He gets offended. He's like, no, that river's nasty. And he even says, like, aren't the rivers of Tigris and Euphrates or something like that, the rivers back in his home, he's like, aren't they so much cleaner than this river Jordan? The river Jordan, they had animals and, drinking and, doing all their stuff in there. That's where they wash their clothes. He's like, why would I wash in that river Jordan? It's nasty. So he's riding home upset, and one of his men says, if the prophet had asked you to do some great thing, some really difficult thing, wouldn't you have done it? He's just asking you to dunk yourself 7 times in the river. Why not try it? And so, the reason gets the best of him. He tries it and he gets healed. So I'm sorry for going on a long rant, but my point is I have a lot of groomers that disagree with me on my methods and what I do, but I personally have great results. I have a client base that is so loyal to me because when they first came to me, their dogs had these skin problems and they were miserable. And by just doing these things that I suggest, within 3 months, their dogs were back in a healthy, balanced, comfortable state. And they would love seeing their dog just laying comfortably, taking a nap, snoozing, being a comfortable, happy dog, rather than itching and scratching and chewing at themselves all the time. You can just see they're miserable. They don't even want to go outside. One of my clients, a Springer Spaniel, when she called me when I got back in Atlanta, and we scheduled it. Now I've been back like 3 or 4 times now, and then she still has a little bit of scabby, crusty areas, but I mean so much better. And she even told me, like, June, every time you groom her, I can run with her for 3 miles. Like, she's a young dog again. So all I'm saying is that you can have your disagreements or have whatever you feel about what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to change how anybody does their grooming, but I'm just saying if you're having a dog skin issues and you've tried everything, why not just try this one thing, you know? Um, but let me see here. Moving on. Lee K 4. Thank you! Exclamation mark. I just started trying to groom my pups and it's very intimidating. I don't want to hurt them or scare them. Thank you again. Thank you so much. The you don't have to thank me. Really, it's all you. And here's the cool thing, Lee K. All the good things that you see about me, all the good qualities, your brain picks it up. Literally, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks about the brain. You're picking it up from me because you actually have it yourself. So that's the really cool thing. Is like you're awesome. Because I'm no, I'm just kidding. No, you see me as this, really helpful person, probably because you're helpful. Ashes, triple, quadruple X. Thank you. No, thank you. It's XXXXX because I was lazy. Ha ha ha. Yes. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't want to make any judgments, so Ashes, XXXX says, with the matting, I keep seeing situations where it's pulling so tight on the skin that I can get a 10 under, but there's so much pressure on the skin that I'm nervous. Yeah, and here's the thing, Ashes, that even when you do carefully get under that mat and you scoop it out with that 10 blade and you didn't cut the skin or anything, everything's good, you still might get like a pelt, like a bruise in that area, wherever that mat was. You'll see like a little round red bruise. Maybe sometimes it's like blue, black. It's a bruise. It is because um, that mat has been pulling on that skin for so long. The skin, and the dog skin is so sensitive. Um, Pamela Luritzen is the founder of the ISCC, which is the International Society of Canine Cosmetologists. A mouthful, but she has taught me a great deal. Oh my goodness! But she was saying that the dog's skin, and I think she was, maybe this isn't a scientific fact, but she was just kind of making it now, comparison. But she was like, a newborn infant, a human baby, has tougher skin than a dog because a dog's skin only has 5 thin layers, and that's why it has hair all over its body to protect this sensitive, fragile skin. And so yeah, when the mat is pulling on that area of skin all over, you're gonna get a dog, even if you've made no mistakes, you're gonna get a dog with bruises and everything all over their body. And so a lot of times when I get a matted dog, and if it's not from the rescue shelter, because the rescue shelter, they understand, they see this all the time. But if it's an owner with a matted dog, I let them know. I can try to demat this. It's gonna take a long, long, long time, and it's gonna take a lot of effort on both sides, me and the dog. Um, and if your dog can't tolerate it, then I'm gonna have to just shave it down. And then I also let them know, even when I shave your dog down, you're gonna see some bruises and red spots because of this. It's pulling on their skin. And even when you do prepare them for it, and you do tell the owners this, they're not always mentally prepared, like fully prepared for it. When they see the dog, like, oh my god, and in their back of their mind, they might think, I hope this groomer didn't, hit my dog and abuse my dog. It's like, no, nobody abused the dog. You know, it's just, and I wouldn't accuse the owner of abusing the dog. It's just they didn't know, they didn't know, and the matting, the matting is what did it. It's just science. Let's see here. Hi, HYBP. Hello from, wow, Spain. Oh my goodness. Wow. Hey, how are you, HYBP from Spain? What time is it in Spain? Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess I could look it up now. Oh my, we're geniuses now. I don't have to wait for HYBP to tell me what time it is in Spain. I can Google it, in an instant. Oh my goodness, we are living in the time of the future. I mean, seriously, they're calling this the information age because literally information is everywhere. Oh my goodness. Rachel Lee, he stays outside. She doesn't even brush him. She definitely doesn't wash him. I tried Dawn 10 times in one day. 200 words isn't enough to ask. He only gets a bath when he comes to me. Now, this is just my personal feelings on Dawn, Rachel, and I know this is a very hot topic, and please don't hate me. And I'm not saying don't use Dawn. I'm just saying here's why I don't use Dawn. Because Dawn, never mind. Never mind. I wrote a blog article about it. If you're ever interested about why we shouldn't be, or why we could choose not to use Dawn if we, you know, if we knew. Um, but I don't want to make anyone feel bad. Rachel, I know you're doing, I know you're doing everything you can to help this dog, and that's the thing is like as groomers, um, I really don't like talking bad about other groomers or putting any other groomers down because it's like it's a thankless job as it is. Well, sometimes I feel, oh my goodness, I feel so loved, but okay, thank you so much, honey. Wow, look at this. Wow, my producer. That's good. But yeah, Rachel. I'll just make this really short. The ducks that get washed in Dawn because they were in oil spills, they're about to die. The oil, those chemicals, they're toxic, and the skin is very. It absorbs these poisons into their bloodstream, and these little baby ducks are gonna die. So they get it off as quickly as possible using Dawn to safely, you know, get the degrease the duck and get the grease off of them without killing the duck because the degreaser is too chemically strong too. So it is like a gentle degreaser, but it's not the correct pH for the dogs. There are better degreasers that are actually made for dogs that we could be using. Lots of good companies. Anyway, Nature Specialties, I'm sure makes a good one. Anyways, no, there is one called Odor Handler. Odor Handler makes a good shampoo and conditioner, but or degreaser. But I just wouldn't use Dawn dish detergent on a dog. It's just gonna make everything worse. And if you have time to wash the dog 10 times in a single day, then you have time to not wash the dog at all and get a comb, get a Greyhound comb or a comb like this all the way through his coat, from the tip of their nose to the tip of their tail down to their feet. I mean, every square inch of the dog, run the comb through. And once you do that, and it's going to take hours to get that comb to get through the coat. I mean, it's going to take you all day long, but probably just as long as it would take you to wash and dry the dog 10 times or wash him 10 times. So, maybe a little longer than it would to wash because washing really is the easy part. I tell everybody, I'll wash your dog for you if you'll do all the brushing and combing for me. Like I'll do it. I'll wash the dog for free. What I'm charging for is the combing and brushing. I mean, I'm charging for it all, but I'm just saying the hard part for me is the prepping. Just like painting a wall, I'll paint anybody's wall for them. Call me over. I'll come over and put the new paint up for you. I love that part. The part I don't like is prepping the walls, sanding it, priming it, getting it all clean and ready, everything off, taping off everything, measuring, all of that part. Oh my goodness, I don't like. But painting the wall is easy. So same thing with dog grooming and washing a dog. Washing a dog is really the easy part. That's like putting up the new paint. It's the combing and brushing and getting that skin clear so that the water and the shampoo and the conditioner actually has room to go in those pores and condition the skin properly. Because a healthy skin is the only thing that's going to produce a beautiful coat. It's not the other way around. It's not getting the coat looking beautiful and clean that's going to do anything to help the skin. The skin is what's actually making the coat, and the coat is being rotated. So the dog shouldn't be in the same coat the next year. It should be in a completely new coat, so that way the dog stays clean. So I hope this, I hope a lot of this stuff makes sense to everyone. I'm still working on trying to simplify it. I talk to my daughters about it all the time because I figure if my 8-year-old daughter gets it, You know, I'm making progress. Um, Leon Harewood. Leon, by the way, I love you, bro. Now on to your question. I have a few dogs I see about to have buildup of yeast between their toes, around their eyes and ears. What will you do to treat this? For the yeast and that crudiness and all that stuff in between the toes, sometimes it smells like Fritos, like nasty corn chips. All that stuff. What I would do personally is just get some holy water, get a priest and a holy water. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, you want to get, I use ear cleaner. I use something like a natural ear cleaner, but or you can use like a natural antibiotic, antibacterial, antifungal spray, like Banix. Banix, Banix. I wrote a blog article about them. But anyways, Banix is amazing. It's a spray, kind of like my Big Fat Greek Wedding. You know how that guy used Windex on everything? That's pretty much like Banix. I mean, you literally use it. You can spray it in your eyes. It's not going to do any damage. They say the guy told me not to spray in my mouth though, because the pH is so low. It's designed to be a very toxic environment for bacteria or yeast or fungus or any kind of virus to live in, but safe for us, safe to put, safe to be on the skin and everything. So that's the only reason. It would probably like erode your teeth. But Banix is awesome for that. If you don't have Banix though, I use the ear cleaner, because ear cleaner, when you clean the dog's ears, what is it doing? The ear cleaner is killing the bacteria and the fungus, everything that's in those ears. Why would it not work for the feet, right? So I use ear cleaner on a cotton ball, and I clean out the paws and everything with the ear cleaner, and that way it zaps it. But here's the thing, you can't just leave it at that. Once you zapped it, Leon, I'm talking to you, Leon. When you zap it, right? Once you clear it all and you got it all clean and everything, you can't just leave it like that, because now it's still open to another attack from the bacteria or yeast or whatever's going on there. You want to seal it and protect it with conditioner. So use a really good conditioner, soak it in conditioner, rinse it really good, and then use a nice spray. I like to even put some more Banix on it after I rinse it. So put some more Banix, or clean it again, with the ear cleaner, and then you want to put some oil. So I have argan oil that a client of mine gave me, 100% certified organic argan oil. It smells wonderful too, but just a light layer, boom, and then that'll protect the. So I would say use a good antibacterial, antifungal cleaner. Yves Saint Bernard also has a lot of good products. In its ISBUSA, no, IB, ISBUSA.com. But if you click on shop there, they have a lot of good like ointments and things like that. They have ozonized olive oil that you can use as well. So that's what I would suggest, Leon. Is treat the yeast and bacteria, but then also protect the skin, like clean and protect the skin. Rachel Lee, also, how do I know if a dog with hair, how do I know if I have a dog with hair follicle damage? Hair follicle damage is easy to spot. It's like a little bump. I have one right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was actually a lot bigger. It was like really big, actually. It was like a lump sticking out. It actually was very painful. So bam, follicle damage. Something got in there and infected my pore. And here's the awesome thing. I'm always learning. Like, I'm always like, oh my God, now I have a better understanding about dog grooming. Okay, so here's another moment that just happened recently, a couple weeks ago. So for November, because now at 35 years of age, I finally have hair that connects here. So for November, I was going to participate in the Movember, growing your facial health for men's health. And my wife was like so against it. She doesn't like facial hair. And I was like, oh my God, I've been wanting this for 35 years, let me just do it one time. So she let me. And then it was itchy. And literally, I was like a dog, itching, right? And right here got infected and got big. And so I shaved it all off, right? I didn't shave it clean off, you know, but I shaved it pretty short. I trimmed it all with the razor. So electric razor. But anyways, and I was thinking about it. It's like, why was it so itchy and scratchy? Why is it so hard to grow the facial hair, right? And so I researched, and isn't that funny? That's kind of how I live my life. I do it, I run it, I make all these mistakes, and then I kind of research. I wonder why it didn't work out. You know, how am I supposed to do it? Research after I've made all my mistakes, right? At first, and then research. Anyways, so I started studying about growing facial hair, and so I realized, and I bought this beard and scruff cream. I forget the brand of it, but anyways, we're supposed to keep it oiled. They're saying that the hair on our face is more coarse than the hair on our head, and the skin on our face is softer, more sensitive than the skin on our head. So it causes this problem, and that's why the itch and everything. So we need to keep it more oiled. So I got this cream that has all these nice oils and it smells really nice, and peppermint and stuff like that. But anyways, and I put oil on it every day now, twice a day. And now I'm growing it out again. Oh my goodness, it feels different. Not only to the touch, but my skin, itself. I don't feel myself needing to itch, you know, like a dog would, you know, with my leg going, you know, like, and I realized, oh my God, this is what's happening to our dogs. They're not getting oiled enough, you know, and we're shampooing them all the time, and we're stripping all their oils off, and their body's trying to produce all these oils over again, and then it smells too much, so we wash them again, and we're never really combing out all these dead hairs that are clogging these pores. These clogged pores stay clogged, and we're constantly rubbing it and causing more stuff to come up behind it. You know, like we're causing all these problems, and these dogs are itching away, and we're just like, oh, maybe I'll just shave it off. That'll solve it, right? I mean, yeah, so it really clicked. I was like, this is what's happening with our dogs. They need to be oiled more, conditioned more, not shampooed so much, brushed more. So, let's see here. Karen, oh, but Rachel, thank you so much. And Rachel, thank you so much for not getting mad at me. Oh my goodness, because I know that we may have differences in opinions, and I'm just sharing my opinion, and I'm not saying that I'm right or you're wrong. I was having a really good conversation with one of my friends I haven't seen in a long time at this local bar here, and I was telling them, like, when you guys get to the other, and I'm not there, and my name comes up, I don't want you guys to say, yeah, June, that guy, he's always right. You know, I was like, that's not how I want my name to come up. You know, I want you guys to say, if my name does come up in conversation, I want them to say, yeah, that guy June, he's really understanding, he's really open to others. You know, so that's really what I want. And to feel safe to share our differences, you know, and to feel like I'm not going to get attacked, you know. Karen Mybis, you make complete sense. Oh, thank you so much, Karen. I love what you just said about how the skin's condition determines the condition of the coat. Thank you so much, Karen. Oh my God, that's awesome. I'm so glad this is making sense, because that's what I wanted to do. Is like, I don't want to seem smart. You know, I don't want to seem like this know-it-all. Like, I'm gonna impart this information on you guys, and you know, like, no, I'm just trying to, like, this is what I know to be true for the dogs that I take care of, and this is what I've been seeing, and I'm just sharing my point of view, I guess, because I think it's going to be helpful for a lot of people who are dealing with these skin issues with their dogs. Um, but yeah, that's I'm so glad that it makes sense. You know, because that's what I want. I want it to make sense. I want it to be helpful. Nova Superb. Hello from Thailand. Wow. How are you, Nova Superb from Thailand? And you know, Thailand has, okay, so I was involved in this little network marketing. I hesitate to say it because the way I have personal feelings about network marketing, you know, I just don't like it. But what I liked about this one company, they're from Thailand, and they only had this one product, and it was rice bran germ oil, and it was made from jasmine rice that grew from Thailand. And that was the only thing they had. So I was like, you know what, I really like, because I tried it myself. It was amazing for me. But then, you know, I'm not involved with that company anymore. But my point is, I liked it because it wasn't like, oh, let me pull out this catalog full of stuff I'm going to sell you. You know, it's just this one thing. You like it or not. you know. But anyways, I learned a lot about Thailand, and I'm really grateful that I was part of that opportunity because I learned so much about Thailand, the culture, and just a deeper appreciation of Thailand that I didn't have before. And here's the cool thing about jasmine rice that I learned. Jasmine rice is so special and has such like healing benefits because of where it's grown in Thailand. They're saying you can grow jasmine rice anywhere in the world. You can get the seed and grow it anywhere, but it wouldn't have the same taste. It wouldn't have that nutty characteristic to it. It wouldn't have the same healing benefits because it's not grown in Thailand, where the waters in the rivers that go through, they're saying it's literally the land, the earth there, that makes the jasmine rice so special. And that's why you have to get jasmine rice from Thailand if you want that all the benefits. So it's like this is just amazing stuff. Things that you just don't know, things that you don't even know that you don't know. Like just anyways. But yes, oh my God, I'm thrilled that you're watching from Thailand. This is amazing. This is crazy to me. Spain, so we got Honduras, we got Spain, we got Thailand. Oh my goodness. Any advice is good. I don't take offense. Thank you. Wow, thank you, Rachel. Why are older dog skin hard to brush without ripping the skin? Because older dogs, their skin kind of loses that firmness, becomes more elastic, I guess, stretchy, just like old people, our skin droops. So I think that's why with older dogs is because their skin isn't as strong. And I've noticed that with even if their dogs, the skin doesn't rip or anything like that, the skin does turn red pretty easily. Even if you're not brushing that hard, the skin will turn red. And again, it's because they only have 5 thin layers of skin. And with older dogs, their skin becomes even thinner. So we got to be really gentle. And that's why with grooming, it does take so much time because we can't just, go through it, and brush really fast. I mean, my brush strokes are fast. I have very fast brush strokes, but I do slow down in certain areas. And I'm only going fast, but I'm going fast and out. I'm not going through the coat. I'm kind of picking out, away at it. And really, it came with experience. But I didn't. My goal was never to be a fast groomer, because I just felt like grooming is just one of those activities that just shouldn't be fast, you know. um, like harvesting apples. And I love this analogy. Whenever I go to a client's house, just to prepare them for how long it's gonna take, when it's a new client, I pull like a couple of hairs, like around the back of the ears, around the shoulders, the usual areas where you're gonna see a lot of buildup of that blown coat. So I'll pull clumps of hair out and I let them know, see how easily that came out? That's like picking an apple off the tree and eating it. Easy. But if you're gonna harvest an entire orchard, now you gotta roll your sleeves up and you gotta block the day off. Like that's what dog grooming is. To just kind of brush, here and there, certain areas. Yeah, I mean that's easy. The hair comes out so easily. It falls out. It falls on our floor. But to actually go in there with our combs and to actually get in there and comb every square inch of the dog, now you gotta roll your sleeves up and block the day off. Well, depending if it's a dog with a blown coat. Um, Nova Superb, how do you think about dog chalk or dog powder? I saw it online. I want to purchase it, but I am not sure it's good for my dog. Okay, so they use it for show dogs, especially like schnauzers or Scotties. When they want to bring out, like, kind of highlight the darkness, like make the dark look more dark and bold. They'll chalk the dog, things like that. But they do wash the dog after they wash it out after the show. Um, you don't want to leave it in your dog's skin or in the coat. I do use some ear powder on my fingers and sometimes on the dead hairs on the dog. And so I do use some powder on the dogs to help grip the hairs better when I'm hand plucking and pulling the dead hairs out. But I do it before the bath. So I'm always washing it out. So I'm not against using chalk. The important thing is to know chalk for certain purposes to help pull the hairs out or to help highlight certain colors if you're showing a dog, best to wash it out afterwards. Okay. Karen Mavis. Karen, is it Mavis or Mavis? But hello, Karen. Karen, brushing helps produce natural skin oil and distributes it throughout the hair. Yes, exactly right. I brush every day while he lays on my lap. It's our bonding time. Yes, we play too. I love that. And you know, one of my clients actually told me that when she's combing her dog, she has one of these Greyhound combs, combing her dog Amber, and you know her dog's laying on her lap and she's combing her out. She's saying it feels like when she would comb her daughter's hair when they were younger. You know, she's like, it's that bonding time. It really is that I care for you. I care about you. You know, and the dog even looks up at you and you know, kind of hugs you with their eyes. One of my clients, Rebecca, I was just talking to her today while I was grooming her dog, and she was telling me that they literally the dog. That's how the dogs hug you. She was saying that when she was petting her dog, and she was just, you know, kind of rubbing her hands through him and everything, and just petting him, he looked up at her and just gave her this look, you know, just like this loving gaze. And they're saying that's literally how they hug you. You know, it's a dog hug. So yeah, I mean, I think that brushing your dog and combing your dog on a regular basis, not only is it good for their health, not only are you going to have a dog that smells less, not only are you going to have a dog that doesn't mat up, you know, you're going to have all these superficial benefits, you know, these benefits on the surface level that you can see, but the deeper benefits, the true value is in the way your dog looks at you. Really, it's that bond. Even when I was leaving today, Jake was just like crying because he didn't want me to go. You know, it's like, you know, that's you know, that's real, that's genuine, and that's what I think is what has grown my business. I'm to the point now where I'm almost very secretive about what I do when people ask me, because I can't take on any new clients, and if I explain to them what I'm doing, they're gonna want my service. That sounded really bad. If I explain what I'm doing and I explain kind of too much about how I do my process, you know, and then tell them, well, now that I've told you all this, and I, you know, I hopefully I've impressed you, I can't take any new clients. You know, like so, you know, I feel like if more people knew um, how to do it and why it's so important, I feel like they would. And so, you know, that's why I'm really happy. You know, I'm really glad that this is growing, and we have people like Karen who you know, who knows what to do. And Karen, you're probably telling your friends, and so this is really good, I think. And you know, information, like what I was talking about earlier, you know, information is all over the place. You know, so this is really awesome. Amy Knox. Hey Jen. Hey Amy, how are you? um, Thank you so much for joining us, Amy. Karen, do you recommend different types of brushes for different age dogs and types of fur or hair? Perhaps a chart would help. Oh my goodness, that would. Okay, I mean, I'll try to work on that. Maybe I even like a short video, because I have I have the perfect setup. I have Angel, who has the double coat, medium length hair. Um, she's like a retriever coat kind of. And I got Dexter, who's a short coat, like, you know, a short coated lab, or you know, he's a pit mix. And then I have Weemy, who has long hair. So I have three different coat types, and so I can do a video showing which tools I use on each one of my dogs, because it is a little different on each one. Perfect, Karen. I got a new laptop, so yeah, shoot, maybe I'll make a new YouTube video, you know, just going through which tools I use on my three dogs who have three different types of coats. That perfect. Thank you so much, Karen. um, what do you charge? What are your fees? No, I was kidding. What is your consultation fee here? Rachel Lee, I dyed my dog. I dyed my dog and 30 plus washes the color. Okay, okay. I dyed my dog, meaning like change the color of the hair. So I dyed my dog and 30 plus washes, the color won't come out. How do I get it out? She's bright orange. So what's happened is the hairs that has like fully absorbed that color, it's in there now, and probably might, I mean, I'm guessing if I went through with this comb and started working it first, this side, the more coarser side at first, and then go with the finer side. And did you see that? Did you catch that? You have to have that flip in order to be a I'm just kidding. Anyways, so yeah, I'm guessing my, like I'm willing to bet $15. I'm willing to bet $15 that if I went through with this comb, I would get a lot of hair to come out if I worked it through. And that's like if you card out, and carding just means like removing the older hairs. If you card out all that hair, the newer hairs that starts to grow in to replace it, they won't have that color. And so it's going to take some time, but you're going to have to go through this period where your dog looks a little thin and still has some of that old color. But then as you keep doing that, then the newer hairs that are starting to replace the older hairs, and the older hairs that still have the colors, but they're not fully dead and fuzzy yet, they're not really coming out, they'll start to come out eventually. And then once it's all cycled through and your dog has a brand new coat, your dog won't have that old color anymore. And it does take time. And it does take a little patience. Especially because this one doodle that I did, she was our client. Sorry, it's my ringtone. She was our client. She was actually the last dog that we groomed before we left to Arizona a couple years ago. So we just got back and connected together again. But when I had to brush her tail out, her tail was pretty thin. And her mom was like, "Oh, no, I don't know if I like that." And I was like, "I know it's really thin, but the good news is the hair on there now is silky smooth and healthy, and that all that fuzzy, nasty hair that was collecting all the leaves and dander and the smell and the dingleberries, that's gone now. And now the healthy hairs that are going to grow in and replace it." And I, the example that I gave her is my hair right now, especially because I take my hat off when I groom, when I'm actually working, I take my hat off. So it kind of looks nasty. Like it's kind of in this length, this weird length where I really can't do much with it. And it's like, it's just messy. I don't like it, but what I'm kind of my vision is I'm gonna grow my hair out and tie it up in a bun. So I'm gonna have a man bun, and I'm gonna grow my facial hair out. So I'm gonna have all this full beard, like full on facial hair and long hair wrapped, tied up, so I can look like a true artist. And I know it's silly, but it's just something I've always wanted to try since I was a kid. I mean, maybe not the facial hair because I never had it, but I always wanted to try to tie my hair back. My mom never allowed it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. So, but so I just have to go through, a long time, probably several months, maybe even a year, of just this weird length where I really can't do much with it, so I just cover it up. Um, but yeah, it just takes time. Anything that, but as long as you know where you're trying to go. So with your dog, that's bright orange or yeah, bright orange, um, even though you want it to be, her natural color again right now, it is going to take some time. So it's not about the washes. 30 washes later, the color is not coming out. You can say 300 washes later, the color's not out. It's really not about the washing. It's really more about brushing. So once you rotate that coat and she's in a brand new coat now, she's not wearing her old coat, from several years ago. Let's keep her up to date with the fashion. So when she's in her new coat, that new hair, it won't be bright orange. So, um, Diary of a Dog Enthusiast, new to YouTube. So excited I found your channel. Thank you so much. Diary of a Dog Enthusiast. That sounds interesting. Are you a new blog or something? 4 o'clock. Oh my God, it's 4 o'clock. Okay. All right. So my producer is back. Christina Lee. I would love to see that video. I have an Australian Shepherd and Corgi. I find they take different brushes to get all the dead hair out. Exactly, Christina. So, Karen, thank you so much, Karen, for the excellent idea. I'll get started. I'll talk to my producer and see what my producer says about all that. My wife. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. We're back up and running. And now that I have a laptop, I can go different places. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do this at a library somewhere. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, maybe I'll do this at a library somewhere, or maybe like a, Panera Bread or something. But yeah, let's keep the ideas going because, I'm always open to ideas and nothing's set in stone. So, all right. So Christina, Diary of a Dog Enthusiast, everybody, thank you guys so much. Leon, I love you, bro. Take it easy, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm moving my mouse. Triple Lotus. Oh my goodness, Triple Lotus. Triple Lotus, have you been watching the whole time and you didn't say hi? Oh my goodness. All right, well, thank you so much, Triple Lotus. Oh my goodness. God bless you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next week. Oh, no. Honey, are we gonna be on? I'll see you guys when I see you.